They're defending B champs for the last 5 years. What can we look for today?
Well, Barry, I think this is going to be a real high-powered game. Both these two teams have superb attacks. Comsewogue has been scoring 153 goals from the attack. Rocky Point, not much lower, 127 goals from their attackmen alone. The question is the defensive matchups against these very strong attack, and the defense will be put to the test.
All right, let's talk about Rocky Point. They come in.
Frank Lawrence is a real explosive kind of attack player, Barry. 59 goals, 31 assists, 90 standing job for Rocky Point over the course of this season.
Now, Comsewogue, of course, the defending state B champs, not only Long Island champs, of course, coming off a very potent offense and a couple of dynamic duos up front, Matt McDonald and, of course, Matt McGuire.
Well, of all the graduates from last year, they did not lose any of the attack players. All three attack players are back, Barry. The senior attack players have a lot of experience. 89 points, 72 goals, 17 assists, and he is the hot man in the playoffs. He's 16-1 in the playoffs and had 2 assists. He is really an unbelievable attack player. He's physical, he's aggressive, a tenacious rider. He's really can do it all.
All right, we'll be back with Hal Sass joining us with the coaches when we return. Get set for championship lacrosse. Coming up next.
Oh, hi, Mike.
Hey, nice suit.
Thanks. You know, your presentation in European history was great.
Well, I hope I can have the same confidence in my next job interview.
Hey, you can. Talk about your internship in New York, make your points about the global economy.
Are companies interested in that?
Yeah, they're interested in intelligence and being well-rounded.
Thanks for the game plan, Professor. Have fun at the gym.
Discover the difference that one-on-one education can make in your life. At Delphi University, stay close, go far.
The Elite Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation Center features state-of-the-art technology, ultra-modern equipment, and an in-house board-certified orthopedic surgeon. The Elite team will bring watchful eye of Elite's medical staff. Elite provides physical therapy, sports training, currently running Neil Heaton's pitching program, and weight reduction programs. The Elite Sports and Fitness Center. Call 737-6767. Strive to become all you can.
Welcome back to Hofstra Stadium before the start of today's Suffolk County Small School Championship. Pete Mitchell of Comsewogue to my right, begin with Mike Bowler. In his 21st year at Rocky Point to my left, and what a great rivalry to play a championship game, 2 schools that know each other oh so well.
Oh, it's great. We've always played over the years, and it's been a great rivalry, and I'm sure today's going to be a good one, too.
Coming into the season, did you think that you would be at this level, that the team could get to this game?
I did. We had some good returning.
You can do it on offense, averaging about 13 goals. Defensively, you've been solid, giving up only 6. You know
offense, and basically their strength is their attack, and they have 3 great attackmen. And if we're able to shut down, thanks so much.
Let's swing over to the other side, and Pete Mitchell, the head coach of Comsewogue, now 5 consecutive Suffolk B championships. Not a surprise that you're here, but didn't get the respect coming into the season, did you?
No, we didn't get the respect. I thought that, you know, we played well. We had returning guys that were with me on the 98. All 3 attackmen were with me, running trouble. So I think try to slow them down, the same thing with their attack in midfield. And
heart disease, breast cancer, and AIDS.
Good shot. Pull. 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 Pull.
Looks like Don got away from you, Hale.
Really?
Don't miss the Lake Path Long Island Classic, July 24th through the 30th. Call Ticketmaster now.
Today's Suffolk Small School Championship is brought to you by Elite Sports Medicine and Rehab in Ronkonkoma and by Cablevision. Jeremy Nickel to light it up. He has had 45 goals for Rocky Point this year. On the other side, look for Josh Marksberry to do some damage.
Right, and of course Drogi and Flood will.
And as we take a look at the defense, and both defenses we tested certainly today, we've got some real good ones there.
Absolutely. Bill Lewis, a 3-time All-County for Rocky Point, along with Palmer and Sia. And on the other side, it'll be Sherratt, Parkovitz, and Bavona.
And Phil Ilardi, going to have to come up big. He's a junior and has done a good job this year. Was on the JV, first year on the varsity. And not overly quick, has got some pretty good reflexes. And he carried, it was 14-7. That was early in the year. And both teams playing very well coming into the playoffs.
Now, they're both really hot right now. They're coming off some big wins in their last playoff game. So this is really going to be a test of both these two teams.
Last year, these two teams split. Remember, Comsewogue went all the way. and won the Suffolk Beat Championship, ran into a red-hot Lynbrook team, and we saw how good that Lynbrook team was the other night, Gary. They will play, of course, both these teams on Tuesday night, and it'll be a very good Garden City team. Antonio Masson, and he is a good one, all division last year and all county this year.
Absolutely, he is and I think that could be part of the game, Barry, coming.
Drops the ball, and we're underway right here. And right now, we'll set the lineups for you as we go. And identify front. Matt McGuire is number 10. And Marty Diedrichson, number 81. And up top in the midfield is Ted Flood. And we'll identify the players as we go. And Rocky Point looking to clear upfield. They like to push the ball up. 19 is Dan Spallina rather. And they'll look to set up Jeremy Nickel. Great feed by Nickel. The low shot stuffed that time as Matt Colon, number 4, got stuffed by Antonio Masson.
Masson played that one-on-one just superbly, Barry. Stayed right with the stick head, didn't go for the fake, and he did an excellent job keeping the guard.
As they employ some short sticks and long stick to bring it down. Mike Sherratt, number 21, was the man who brought it down. And Comsewogue looking to set it up here. Changes in their lineup here. Joe Droge, number, and perhaps a crease violation called, and that is the call. And it will go against Comsewogue. James Garboski was not expected to play. Number 41, the midfielder. Check that Matt McDonald, number 41, wearing that uniform, was the man who was called for the crease. Comsewogue in retaining. I guess there was a push there.
Yeah, I guess they called the push into the crease, Barry.
So this is Joe Droge, 17. He'll work in the midfield with Josh Marksberry, 46. Droge.
Now, Droge is a midfielder, Barry, who inverted, took the short stick behind the cage, looking to see if they could set something up with that one, with the shorty.
McDonald under heavy pressure, got it to Diedrichson. They'll tightly mark. This is Ted Flood. He lost the ball, and Rocky Point looking to bring it up. With the long pole having some trouble was Ed Palmer. And we get a whistle, and we'll get a push, and let us go to Hal Sass for the first time this afternoon.
Thanks, Barry. You mentioned Matt McDonald wearing number 41 instead of number 23 today. Well, 41 is usually the number of James Garboski, one of the team captains and one of the leaders on defense. Garboski ruptured his...
And Spallina, number 19, off to Jeremy Nickel. And they'll look to clear it up here. Comsewogue on the clear. This is Mike Sherratt, 21. Got it off to 17, and rifling it wide that time was Joe Droge, but the ball will be turned over here.
And Vinny Alardi did a good job getting out of the cage real quick to get the ball over for Rocky Point. First 2 times down the field, Barry, the shot taken by Dan Spallina at the midfield leaves some of the pressure off the attack players.
Right now, under a little pressure, Rocky Point doing a good job bringing it down. Spallina, he's taken a couple of the early shots. His care point has 30 goals on the year, had 6 in the victory against Iceland in the playoffs in that 16-4 victory. So he's a hot hand. And when you get that, when you get the likes you're getting from Cologne and Lawrence in the midfield, that's awfully good, along with Nickel. So they have 5 good scorers. Feet on the crease, and they score. Cologne getting the goal, and a nice pass from behind the cage to set it up.
And they found Matt Cologne right on the doorstep. And once you get that opportunity, when you're in that tight to the goalie, even Antonio stop on the shot. There it is again on the replay. There you see Matt Cologne in your picture, catching a little breather after the goal. But here on the replay, that's number 5, Jeremy Nickel, behind the cage, inverting, taking the stick behind the cage, and finds Cologne right on the crease for a real good shot and opportunity, putting up the Eagles up 1-0.
47th goal for the junior, and 1-0. And Comsewogue looking to set it up. Flood fires it to the far side. This is McDonald going to his left, bounces one and scores. So Matt McDonald comes right back with his 41st goal. The 2-year all-county player going to Dowling, drawing a hand from the fans on the far side.
Well, McDonald started the play. Up top, went one-on-one. He had the defenseman. Josiah was the defenseman on the play, and he just used his speed with the stick in his left hand. He protects the stick very well, takes a nice bounce shot, and scores the goal, and we tie it up for Comsewogue.
All right, off the face-off here. Again, won by Comsewogue, doing a good job on the face-off as Comsewogue winning the draw. That was Josh Marksberry, 26, who won it. And let's go to Hal Sass down on the
control, and he said one of the problems they've had this year has been on the faceoffs, and we've seen them lose both faceoffs. That last faceoff led to the goal by McConnell, something that they're going to have to work on as they keep going through the playoffs.
Hal, thanks very much, Flood. Now working is 35, Chris Pearson. He's working in the midfield. Strong drive to the cage, but the shot blocked in tight, as challenging that time was Alardi. And the ball goes to the far side, still in play. Comsewogue with it. Diedrichsen swings it to the near side. And a rifle shot and a score by Teddy Beer, a complimentary player, going to FDU. And it is 2-1 in favor of the Warriors.
And Teddy Flood took a nice, hard, right-handed shot, Barry. Little sidearm. I think it caught Alardi a little bit by surprise. Or I also believe that perhaps Alardi was a little screened, because you'll see there's a defenseman right in front of him. And you'll notice that Alardi really reacted very slow to the shot. But it was a hard right-handed shot. And this young man, Teddy Flood's got unbelievable speed. And he really can help them get it going. He's been playing very well through the playoffs.
Once again, Marksbury wins the face-off from Jeff Rink. That has again been the 4 straight that he's won. And Comsewogue with the 2-1 lead will set it up here, as they'll make one change off the face-off. And we'll set it up for you. Droge to the left. And a good stop that time by the goalie Alardi.
Well, Droge, I think, just put that shot high, stick side. It was nothing more than a pass into the stick of Alardi.
Aaron pass over by Alardi, trying to get it to Josia on the far side. And Comsewogue will get it back. Comsewogue averages about 12.5 goals a game. They give up about 5. Rocky Point scores about 15, and they give up about 8. So they're both pretty high-scoring clubs. And again, 14-7 was the first time these two clubs met in favor of Comsewogue. Look at McDonald get in tight, hit the pipe on the bounce shot, and it's recovered along the near side by Ed Palmer. Palmer, cheap clearing downfield, and on this turf it'll bounce over Danny Spallina out of play. So that's twice they had trouble clearing the ball, and they're going to give it back. You can't do that to a team like Comsewogue with the kind of offense they have, Kerry.
You're absolutely correct, and in fact that is one of the concerns of Mike Bowler. As we see the last shot, and you see a lot of spin moving by McDonald as he comes in on the goal. Just hits off the pipe. Good effort, great effort, I think, by Matt McDonald.
That's his favorite move. He's a great spin dodger, McDonald.
Well, what we were talking about the clearing, this was a concern of Coach Bowler for Rocky Point. They had a lot of problems in the last game clearing against Comsewogue, and this was one of the areas that he thought they really had to improve upon to be successful today.
Now some pressure, heady play that time by Comsewogue's number 27, Joe Bavona. As he back flipped it, he was under some pressure. And now this is Pearson trying to drive to the cage. He's a senior going to Nassau Community. They only really play 4 midfielders, Comsewogue, and that's been traditional. They do play a defensive midfield, but only 4 offensive midfielders. Pearson, that's what another thing McDonald likes to do. A couple of these guys like that behind-the-head shot, and he tried to get that off Carey.
Well, that was a great effort. He had the pass. McDonald got the pass a little bit late, so he already was close to the pipe on the shot, and that's why he put it behind the back. And here you see the good defense.
Good strip by, that time, Palmer. Number 10, Eddie Palmer, the junior, 2-time All-Division player. He was supposed to be matched up against Diedrichsen, and Lewis was going to play McGuire. So far, that has been a pretty good matchup. Great transition, and they score. Beautiful setup for Frankie Lawrence, as they did it picture perfect there, Kerry.
Well, that was a great feed. You got to give the credit to the on the assist to that. But
Bill Lewis brought it
certainly, as you watch, Frankie Lawrence makes a great move to the cage, and he gets that feed right off the crease area and has an excellent shot on Masson. Nice ball movement by Rocky Point, and that'll tie it up, Barry, with just 3:42 to go in this first period.
6:18 the time of the goal. So Cologne, McDonald, Flood, and Lawrence have scored in this first quarter, and we're deadlocked at 2. Again, Rink having trouble, and Marksbury easily wins the faceoff. He is some tough little guy, Marksbury, heading to Ithaca. Has won about 65% of his faceoffs, and an all-county soccer player. 3 years, a very quick carry. And although he's only 5'9", he's well built at 170.
Absolutely, and in the soccer field, he's got easy goal.
Easy goal right there. Teddy Flood coming up. And it is going to be a 3-2 game right now, so goals coming rather quickly here. The guy not known as a scorer, but has great speed, Teddy Flood, who played football, comes up with his second goal of the game. He's known as a ground ball guy, and let's watch the goal here as he goes to his left.
Well, again, he's got the speed, and that's what he uses to beat the defender. This defender's got the stick trailing. Josiah, this is exactly what Pete Mitchell was hoping for. He needed his middies to pick up the game a little bit, keep again, pressure off some of those attack guys.
Another face-off one here, and the shot, and it almost trickled in. Marksberry almost scoring right off the face-off. Palmer on the far side for Rocky Point as the Eagles trail 3-2. Palmer gets it down, and we get a timeout taken by Mike Bowler. So interesting, he had a little bit of a transition going there, but Mike wanted to settle things down.
Yeah, well, I tend to think Michael believed that that Palmer taking that ball up was going to get trapped with those three riding players, and I think he called the timeout before he beat those three players. But key so far, face-offs, all Comsewogue. Marksberry has dominated the face-off 6-0.
Let's take a look at the road to the top for these clubs representing the B and C teams in Suffolk County. And the road to the top for Rocky Point beat Babylon and Islip. And boy, they scored some goals, as we mentioned, averaging about 15 a game. And for Comsewogue, as we look at their road to the top, also impressive victories over Hauppauge, a team that has really picked up its lacrosse program. And of course, a Huntington team, the defending team that played in the Class A finals last year against Ward Melville.
Right, exactly. Huntington played in the Class A. They dropped down this season into the Bs. And exactly, Hauppauge, Jerry Goodfellow did an excellent job, outstanding job with the Hauppauge program, brought them into the playoffs this year.
Let's take a look at Flood's last goal carry that put Comsewogue in front 3-2.
And again, you see nice stick work and protection on the part of Teddy Flood. Puts the shot to the far pipe, beat Ted Sia. Second time he's done that. There's going to be, I think that's going to be critical. If Flood is going to beat Sia to the cage like that, you're going to see Flood have a lot of opportunities with a lot of his shots.
And the long pole middies are really going to be tested here. Chris Weissmuller, number 16, a guy out there for Rocky Point against the tough midfielders, going to have to play well. Let's see if that timeout pays off here. We're down to 2:50 to go. Spallina chase to the near sideline. You can hear the whacking away going on there. No, as it is going to hit the ground, and we'll get a whistle, and it'll be Comsewogue going man down here. And I tell you, one of the Comsewogue defenders, I think it was Chris Pearson maybe, who was pretty active whacking away there. Let's see who was actually going off over there. It looks like 21, is it? And that's going to be Mike Sherratt, one of the close defensemen, off to the penalty box. Did you see the call, Kerry?
Yep, I think it was a late hit. And it'll be a 1-minute extra man opportunity for Rocky Point. The hit came on Spallina after he dished off the ball, and they called it a late hit.
All right, here we go with the Matt Cologne number rink. Feed across the cage off the stick that time of Jeremy Nickel, and it goes out of bounds. Nickel does have a great shot, and they'll look to set him up because he has one of the hardest shots on the team.
Absolutely. My problem with that is that the pass going cross cage has to get through a lot of sticks, and Nickel has to put himself in a better position through the seam of that zone defense to get
receive
that pass.
That ball, right?
Absolutely.
2:19 to go. Comsewogue a man down. Masson, who's a great passer, tries to get this one downfield with a little cheap clear. Goes off the stick of the goalie.
No, I don't think he touched that barrier.
Nope.
He put his stick out, but it bounced over his head, and he was lucky it didn't touch his stick.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That would have been a major
Otherwise,
mistake. Right.
That would have been a very costly error.
So Rocky Point will get the ball. No, are they going to change it here? Yeah, they say it did. So it's going to be Comsewogue ball carry.
Yep, the near official said hit his stick. The far official gave the sign for Rocky Point.
Well, our officials are outstanding officials working today. Kenny Rizzo is the referee, the umpire Al McVeigh, the field judge Bob Hutchinson, and the CBO Bill Lawler. So Comsewogue leading 3-2. We'll put the ball in play here. They double up. Remember, they're a man who's got great body control, and he is a force out there. Lost his stick, lost the ball, but quickly recovered by Josh Marksberry, who's all over the field. He's a catalyst for this Comsewogue team.
Now, they should be looking to double the ball. See, the doubler's coming over much too late. He let too much time elapse off of the penalty. And right now, the guy who has a free hand seems to be number 15 for Rocky Point. I think that's Rich Pavaromo.
And the teams are all even right now, so Rocky Point ain't able to do anything. And with the man up, Comsewogue killed the penalty very effectively, and they retain possession here. This is Ted Flood, who's been a surprise offensive threat. 2 goals, beats his man again, gets in tight, and had a great scoring opportunity, but missed the cage.
That was a great opportunity again, and he's coming in one-on-one on Ilardi. There's no slide picking him up. There's no backup. And without any kind of backup, I think you're going to see him go to the cage all day.
Again, that's what speed will do, and especially on the AstroTurf, if a fast player is even faster, Kerry.
And the ball's traveling faster, and he's traveling faster.
See what he's matched up right now against Doug Milano, number 11, trying to contain him. Meanwhile, getting in tight, McDonald. You can't give him room. Coming from behind the cage, he's so strong, and the playmaker and scorer gets the goal. For McDonald, his second game, second unassisted goal, and his 42nd of the year.
And he just uses good body work, body protection, and he takes on number 10, Eddie Palmer, one-on-one, goes to the cage hard, takes it with the left hand, and puts it in the cage. And again, we're have a 4-2 lead for the Warriors.
Once again, Mark Sperry getting ready for the faceoff. They're going to try somebody different on the faceoffs here.
Well, they may try Montalbano.
Rink had been taking most of them, number 9. And off the faceoff, Rocky Point does come up with it.
And that was Montalbano, who faces off at about 58%.
And picking up the loose ball, Matty Colon, the opportunist, as the ball had been knocked away from Lawrence, but Matty Colon was right there to bang it home, and it's back to a 4-3 game.
Just like the last goal he scored, Barry. He's right in the right place at the right time, right on the crease. He gets a lot of his opportunities down low. He is a finisher, and we've seen him do it twice now. Here it is on the replay. The ball dislodged loose by defense, but again, that's why you have backup. That's why you get in the offense position to backing up your teammates, so you get that ball when it is dislodged.
48th goal of the year. He's just a junior, Kerry, and had only 6 assists coming in. Once again, violation. This time, Mark Sperry again violated. So in this high-scoring first quarter, and they'll swing it around. That's Frankie Lawrence going to New York Tech for Jack Haley, as will Sean Ely, number 12, his teammate, who has the ball right now. Sean with 22 goals, very steady player. Danny Spallina. He'll also be going to Nassau Community College. All-county player. Trying to feed onto the crease. They try to force it there. Broken up. Comsewogue will look now to the speedy Mark Sperry to bring it down. Got it cross. Nice pass to Pearson. Pearson with 18 seconds to go. They'll look to get it in the hands of McGuire or McDonald. And this is Pearson getting in tight. Nice shot. And a nice move by Chris Pearson. Another Nassau Community bound youngster. And he scores to make it 5-3 with 11 seconds to go.
They worked a nice give and go with Pearson and Dieterichsen working together. Stick protection. Tucks the stick as he drives by his defenseman and has an underhanded shot over the shoulder of the goalie, Vinny Ilardi.
So the goal's coming fast and furious. Didn't have too many in some of those Nassau games, but we've had 8 here in the first quarter from these wild guys from Suffolk County. Coming down, they like the turf here. This time, Mark Sperry had it knocked away 6 seconds to go. Recovered by Comsewogue with the long pole, Joe Bavona. And time will run out, and that's it for the first quarter.
That was a good quarter for Comsewogue. They did a great job on the faceoffs, and they went right to the hoop.
Timeout after 1. The Warriors lead the Eagles by 2, and you're watching Cablevision Sports.
Hello? Oh, hi, Mom. Yeah, my teachers and career counselors are great. They even sent me email. Mom, the whole campus is wired. Yeah, we've got championship NCAA teams. No, I'm not lonely. There's a lot to do here. Rick and I were just going out to shoot some hoops before dinner. Yeah, the food's good. You're making lasagna? You got enough for both of us? We'll be right over.
Adelphi. Stay close, go far.
Oh, watch this. I learned how to do this from my kids.
Great shot! Oh, look out, look out, look out! Who is that? Height? Wow.
Ow. I knew you'd miss it. Hey, what is going on out there? You got weird neighbors.
Don't you just love rookies?
Yeah.
Don't miss the Lake Path Long Island Classic, July 24th through the 30th. Call Ticketmaster now.
Great day for golf, a great day for as we pan back and see part of the campus here and Margiata Hall And what great facilities they have here at Hofstra. What a great year it was for John Danowski and his team making the playoffs again.
Absolutely. I think he's really established the program as one of the best in the country. John's just is an outstanding coach. He's done a great job recruiting. He's bringing in some excellent players into Hofstra, and they are going to be, again, a force next year, I think, certainly in the top 10.
All right, Kerry, we're just about ready to go here for the start of the second quarter. Face-offs, Comsewogue dominating 7-2. Ground balls, it was Comsewogue 11-7. And off the face-off, Marksberry coming up with the ball very quickly. Saves were 3-2 in favor of Comsewogue. Shots were 10-6 in favor of Comsewogue, and they lead it by 2 as we begin the second quarter. And have not mentioned Matt McGuire's name much. It's been a McDonald flood show here. Now, they locking on McGuire that we haven't mentioned his name, Kerry?
Yes, that's exactly what
Bill
they're
Lewis
doing.
been doing
Bill
it?
Lewis, right. Bill Lewis has been marking up on McGuire, and Lewis, the 3-time All-County, is by far, an outstanding defenseman, and I'm sure he's locking right off on McGuire.
All right, opportunity here on the loose ball as Rocky Point picked it up. That was Spallina who picked it up, and as Lawrence tried to turn and get a shot off, we get a push, and it'll still be in the hands of Rocky Point. But Lawrence was a good shooting position there, Kerry.
He sure was. He lost that advantage when he tried to spin and go to the right hand rather than take that shot with the left.
And another error made this time by Rocky Point. Third or fourth they've made. And again, you can't do that against a club like Comsewogue. Now they'll bring on some changes here. Doug Milano comes on with Kevin Montalbano on the second midfield for Rocky Point. And Chris Weissmiller comes on with a long pole, number 16. So they'll try to put a little pressure on the ride here. And on the far side, loose ball. Weissmiller with a good hit. But they're going to call a little interference there. And Weissmiller, who's a senior, converted attackman. Very good long pole youngster, taken away. And here is Matt Colon, who's had 2 so give and go to Colon. He got trampled as he went down, and it's going to be a penalty on Joe Paukovitz, number 24, I believe.
Yep, that's exactly what they're going to call.
Or John
Barry.
Paukovitz, I should say.
And it's going to give a 30-second push violation against Comsewogue, so it'll be an extra man opportunity.
They could have scored here off the turnover here, but the pass went awry a little bit, Kerry, and Cologne with the opportunity.
Yep, and there you see the foul committed in your picture.
Here's a look at Matt, who's had a couple of goals. He's a basketball player. Very good in transition. And Rocky Point will go man up here. Frank Lawrence with the ball. Eagles last year lost to Shoreham-Wading River in the semifinals.
That cross-check push could be costly for Comsewogue. Should Rocky Point be able to capitalize on this and bring it back within 1?
Ely over to Nickel. He's the guy they want to shoot from outside. I told you he's got that cannon shot. Just potentially a Division I player will play at Nassau Community next year. And pass could not be handled that time. And once again, Comsewogue looking to get the ball upfield. Good job on the clear right there by number 40, Fernandez. Off to Diedrichsen. In the middle, McGuire, nice move. And McGuire shows why he is a big-time scorer, but no, they're going to wave off the goal. He was in the crease, they said.
That was an outstanding effort. What a great goal, too, I thought, by McGuire. Unfortunate for he and for Comsewogue that he had the crease violation, but watch the move. Watch the stick control, the spin move right there. Beats the defender, takes a nice shot, a head fake shot. But yes, good call by the official. The right foot was in the crease.
Well, Rocky Point having trouble. He's fair game out there. And he was under some siege. Gilardi gives it up. And McDonald trying to rifle one from outside, almost was able to put it in.
Let's give the save to the defenseman because he's the one who stopped that goal, Barry. That was right on.
Absolutely. Once again, McDonald with the ball. Out midfield to Marksberry. Josh, who has a younger brother, Adam, who plays as a defensive midi, number 30. But now Josh inverting with his great speed. He's got an opportunity to score. Here he gets stuffed. And you hear them off our camera down on the sideline battling for it. It'll be blue ball. And let's check in with Hal Sass.
Thanks, Barry. After the first quarter, the Rocky Point sidelines, they're pretty optimistic. They're pretty happy with the way they played that first quarter. A couple of concerns. They said the defense is getting pressured and they've got to learn to get rid of the ball a lot quicker, causing some of those turnovers that we saw just a few seconds ago. He said they've got to relax. They're only 1 quarter down, 3 more to go, plenty of time. On the other side, for Comsewogue and Pete Mitchell's club, hard work. That's what they've been pushing for all game. They've been doing it. One concern, though, Matt McDonald, who has 2 goals today, went to the sideline, had some lower back spasms, came over the sideline, said it was hurting when he runs. They're going to try to stretch him out at halftime, but he's still out there, back upstairs.
All right, good play that time from behind on the shot off. And you could see why Comsewogue is so effective in terms of the riding. They have 2 great riders. You saw McDonald there and McGuire. Both are great offensively, Kerry, but they're superb, tenacious riders, and they almost cost a costly turnover there.
They sure are, Barry. They're tough. They're hard-nosed players. They're fast. They really exert a lot of pressure, and especially with a slow defenseman or perhaps with an inexperienced player in the back, they can cause a lot of havoc.
Spalina off to Nickel, trying to get free for the hard shot. Check. Loose ball. Good job by John Parkovich that time, number 24. And Rocky Point trying to get that ball again. Collision with Lawrence. Scooped up here by Rink. He loses control of it. We get a late hit call coming here.
Well, that was a saving check by Bavona of Comsewogue.
The 5'11 senior, number 9, who's gotten 10 goals this year. And that will give an extra man opportunity for Comsewogue. A little frustration there.
And Rink looked as if at first that he thought the penalty was, in his behalf, that there was a foul on him. So a little surprise as we take another look at it and see the penalty. Right here is where the clear was deflected by Lawrence. And that, of course, is number 27 going for the ball, Bavona. And you see what happened there after the play. After the check, you saw Rink go into the defenseman, number 21, Shurat, and that's where they called the penalty.
Good camera work by Brian Enders and his great crew as they'll swing it on the wing here. Diedrichsen running the club from behind. Swings it. Up top they'll go. Good ball movement here. Good save from the angle. And that last time the shot taken by Marty Diedrichsen, the captain, all-county player, will be going to Gettysburg. Has 41 goals, 64 points on the year. Once again, Comsewogue with possession. Diedrichsen again, this time from the near angle. And as they hustle for the ball, it's still going to be in the hands of Comsewogue.
Well, Diedrichsen's last 2 shots were both up high on Vinny Ilardi. He came from the right side of the goal and then came from the left side of the goal. And Phil Ilardi, the goalkeeper, has stood his ground with those high shots.
He's only 5'7", Kerry, and that's maybe one reason why they're trying to go high on him. He can't cover the upper part of the cage. As they again retain possession here. Now teams are all even. Quickly racing out of the field was number 11, Doug Milano, who was serving the penalty. And Comsewogue with it. They lead 5-3 as we hit the halfway mark of the second quarter. All 8 of the goals coming in the first quarter. 2 by McDonald, 2 by Cologne for each team. As Comsewogue works it behind, Droge had inverted. Great speed, Droge spotting Diedrichsen, who had slipped away from the defender, Ed Palmer, and able to get the gimme.
Well, you saw anything of the open players down low, Barry, and that could cause some problems, I think, for the Rocky Point defense. Diedrichsen is tough enough, but he has a big stick behind the cage, and that's going to leave Diedrichsen down against number 10, Palmer, and they got Palmer on the string going back and forth. So they found him with the opening, and, Diedrichsen that close isn't going to miss. It was a great feed, I thought, by Droge.
No question about it. And again, Mark Sperry comes up with the faceoffs. He's been dominant in that department. Again, behind a Matt McDonald. They have so many weapons, this Comsewogue team. And here's McGuire, who has been shut off pretty much today. Gets the shot off, falling down. Oh, goes high again. And that's the kind of Matt McGuire goals they've seen all year. He had this year, had 8 the other day against him, and now gets his 73rd goal and 17th in 3 playoff games.
Well, again, he's working against Lewis here, and he does a great job. Look where the stick is. And, of course, Lewis going for the wrap check at the very end there, wasn't able to come up with it, and falling down. Great effort by Matt McGuire. Up to this point, I think Lewis has done a very good job on McGuire and has done, as difficult as that is to contain Matt McGuire, Lewis has done the job.
Milano gets pushed by McDonald, and the ball will go over to Rocky Point with that loose ball push. The official right on the case. And the officials are certainly have game to a great official who passed away, Joe Dooley. And I know, Kerry, you knew Joe Dooley very well as we watched the play unfold here for Rocky Point. We'll get to that in a moment. Nickel inverting. He's got the hard shot. Lost it. Marksberry's got it. And taken back by Spallina. They've got to get something going here. They've given up 3 straight goals, Comsewogue. It was a 4-3 game, remember, and now it's 7-3. Bounce shot easily handled that time, taken by Jeff Rink. And it's recovered on the far side by Ely. Sean Ely. Spallina. Saved by Masson as he handled the bounce shot well.
Well, those shots are coming from pretty far out, Barry, and I think it's going to be tough to beat Masson that far out. And the kid who I think who possibly might be able to do that is Jeremy Nickel. Now, Nickel, I don't think has taken a shot yet. Now, here's a kid who's sitting with 78 points, and he hasn't had a shot. They've got to get him involved in the offense.
They've watched him very closely. He's gotten into scoring position, but he seems to be getting checked, not getting that shot off quickly enough, Kerry.
Yep, and he's not looking to take the shot. He's looking to dump it. And I think he's got to get more involved in the offense.
All right, there's baseball coming up for you baseball fans. That's right. The Ducks are getting back in action, and they are a lot of fun to watch at EAB Ballpark, and it'll be coming up this Thursday night. You can catch all the action right here as they take on Atlantic City. The Ducks in Atlantic City, live on Cablevision Channel 18 island-wide. Long Island Ducks baseball at their beautiful ballpark in Central Islip, 7 p.m. Channel 18. And Kerry, I know you don't live too far away, and you've got some youngsters. What a great opportunity to go out and spend a summer evening and watch some fine baseball play with a lot of local kids. A lot of Long Island kids getting an opportunity to play for the Ducks.
It's a great family locality. And I hear the stadium is just really an outstanding stadium, Barry. Anyone who's gone there has said that they were really overly impressed with the facility.
It is a beautiful facility. Frank Bolton, the Ducks, and all the Suffolk officials should be complimented. And we at Cablevision delighted that we're bringing you many of their games on both Channel 18 and Channel 70. West Islip, Kerry, for the large school championship, and of course for the right to advance on to play Massapequa Tuesday night here at 7:30.
And that's a game I'm looking forward to, seeing both those two fine teams going at it.
Of course, they played earlier this year, and Ward Melville with a current 40-game winning streak, as they've had a tough scare in their last game against Northport 9-8, and they're banged up a little bit. Our next opportunity, Kerry, as right now Comsewogue will play it in behind. Comsewogue with the ball right now is Ryan Jackson, number 12, getting a little playing time here. Knocked away. Scramble for the ball. Diedrichson trying to get to it between two blue uniforms. And a push going to be called on Diedrichson, and the blue team will get it.
Well, I'll tell you, Barry, there was a hit in the middle over there. I don't know if you picked it up, but there was a hit by Matt McGuire as Rocky Point tried to clear.
Another bad clear by Rocky Point, but they're fortunate that Nickel is able to recover the ball. And the guy you pointed out, going to have to get it going here, Jeremy Nickel. Let's see who's defending him pretty aggressively. Keep it on 22 over there is Dan Henderson. Dan is a defensive midfielder. Stamina, got a long stride. He's a big guy at 6'2", 185. Feet on the crease, nicely done. And putting home the gimme that time was number 9, Jeff Rink, from the pass behind.
Well, Rink, again, in good locality, was able to find the opening in the defense, so they finally were able to crack through that stolid defense for Comsewogue, and there it is again on the replay. And there's Jeremy Nickel. Now, he's got 33 assists prior to this, so he really plays with his head up, sees a lot on the field, and finds Rink down low. Here's that last opportunity where it comes. Here's the hit. Look at that hit right laid on by McGuire.
Matt, solidly built, 6 foot, 195, going to Loyola. And an old county football player, and you saw some of those football skills right there. And the ball goes out of bounds. And quickly Comsewogue with Marksberry using that great speed.
Goal scored by number 9,
coming
Jeff
down.
Frank. The goal was assisted by number 5.
Check that, it was not
Jeremy
Marksberry, but instead number 29, that was Ted Flood, who has had a couple of goals today.
He showed some pretty good speed there, I thought. In fact, according to Coach Mitchell, he's probably one of the fastest on the team.
Billy Lewis goes down, no foul. Marksberry kind of gave him a little body roll there. And here is the younger brother coming upfield. Adam Marksberry, number 30. He had it broken up. He's a real hustler like his brother. He's going to have a great future, and he's going to head off, gives the ball over to his brother. He says, all right, senior brother, take it to the hole. And he did. Alardi coming up with the save.
Alardi did a good job on that save. Alardi, the lefty goalie, had to go off stick low for that save.
Trying to bring it up right now. Rocky Point having a little bit of trouble, but doing it is Ed Palmer. He's very quick, a great athlete. And a junior, he'll be back. This is a very young Rocky Point defense to a certain degree with Palmer, a junior, but he's a good one. And Comsewogue has a young defense as well. Right now, keep possession here. They're very much in this game, trailing 7-4. Under a minute to go. They'd love to go off at halftime just down by 2 as they were at the end of the quarter, Gary.
Oh, absolutely. That would be a real psychological boost for Rocky Point.
Lawrence with a dump off. Trying to feed in front, intended for Rink, but it's broken up. Marksberry takes a hit, but it's picked up by his teammate, and here's Flood coming down.
Well, they got the break.
Oh, and McGuire misses from in tight. Nicely done on the fast break carry.
Well, they had the break there, Barry. Comsewogue caught the midfielders of Rocky Point trailing, so they had the opportunity. And again, the shot was up high. I really think they'll have a little bit more success, especially in tight, going down low on Ilardi.
32 seconds to go. Pete Mitchell, or rather looking on over there in his second year, 29-8. He's done a terrific job replacing Bob Woods. Great feed again, and Diedrichson denied off the feed from McDonald, and McDonald slams his stick down and say, oh my, how did we not convert on that one?
And they're absolutely right, and I give credit to that save to Ilardi. Again, doing a fine job. They found Diedrichson down low on the crease again, and they put that shot right up high, and Ilardi stood right there and held his ground. Good job.
Timeout taken by Comsewogue with 23 seconds to go. And Kerry, the officials have dedicated themselves, as you mentioned earlier, to Joe Dooley, and they are wearing a pin. We can get a shot of one of the officials, and we'll talk about that right now.
Okay, well, Joe Dooley certainly is a name in Suffolk County, Barry. He's dedicated himself to the youth in Suffolk County. He was a great football official, basketball, and of course noted for his lacrosse involvement. He has served the county in 31 years, and you'll see the officials wearing a pin that they have all season long dedicated to Joe. He was very instrumental in the county playoffs, and in fact was really credited for starting the Lacrosse Coaches Officials Association. And there you see the pin.
That's
right there on the left collar, and that official that you see there is Bob Hutchinson getting a drink of water. But again, Joe Dooley really was very instrumental in helping the growth of Suffolk County lacrosse. And he, as I said, started the Official Association. He and, of course, Joe Cuso, none other.
Believe it or not, Joe, 32 years coaching Ward Melville program and the most successful high school coach in the history of lacrosse. Let's take a look at that last save on Diedrichson.
Again, watch the good feed right in on the crease. Watch Ilardi come across the cage with as the lefty gets his stick to the off-stick side up high to be able to deflect that shot on goal.
Just 3 goals scored here in the second quarter. Fans enjoying the action, sitting in the shade on the near side, on the press box side. Sunbathed fans on the far side. Let's see what Comsewogue comes up with this 20 seconds or on to go here. Comsewogue 17 is Joe Droge. Aaron pass. And will they have time? Flood with 6 seconds. You can move it quickly. McDonald will take a shot from outside. Ilardi was positioned well for that shot, and that'll do it. That's the half with the score 7-4 in favor of Comsewogue.
Well, McDonald knew the clock was running out, so he took that shot pretty far out, and Ilardi made the saves. But again, a good half, I think, for Comsewogue. They really controlled the ball. They controlled the pace of the game through the face-offs. They got to be pleased with the way they're playing.
So, as Pete Mitchell heads off, let's go to Hal Sass down on the field.
All right, Barry, 7-4 the score, joined by Mike Bowler. You happy with that?
We haven't been playing real good defense. We have to pick up more ground balls. If we can do that, I think we'll be okay in the second half.
Face-offs were definitely a problem in that first half. You lost the first 5 or 6, made a change, got possession, led to a goal. Got to do a little bit better on the face-offs?
A little bit better. I think we made an adjustment just before, and I think we're going to be okay in the second half.
Good luck in the second half.
Thanks so much.
All right, that's Mike Bowler, the head coach of Rocky Point. His club trails by 3 is report after this timeout on Cablevision Sports.
You decided on a college. I know we talked about it, but you made your decision so fast. You know, your mother was hoping you'd pick a school that's small and close to home, where you're not just another number, with teachers that really care about you. And what about your soccer? Do they have a good team? So, have you found a school like that?
Sure did.
At Delphi, stay close, go far.
This is science. This is technology. This is the human body utilizing science and technology to achieve perfection. It's Medicine and Rehabilitation Center. Call 737-6767. Strive to become all you can.
And we welcome you back to Hofstra Stadium in Hempstead, New York. Suffolk County Small School Championship on the line. The Comsewogue Warriors with a 3-goal lead over the Eagles of Rocky Point by the score of 7-4. Hal Sass joined by Kerry Gluck. And Kerry, pretty good first half. Two very well-known teams. They know each other well. A good first half of action.
Well, it was a high-scoring kind of half. We had a lot of goals in the first quarter. I think the team settled in a little bit more in the second quarter. They found their routine a little bit, and they weren't just running and gunning as they had in the first quarter. So settling into a little bit more offensive kind of play, 6-on-6 rather than transition, which is what we saw a lot of in the first quarter.
In the early going, Comsewogue had a lot of ball control, did a good job on the faceoffs. We'll take a look at those first half stats. That's going to bear that right out. Having a hard time.
Well, you know what? The stats are really reflecting the score on this whole on the whole game. Hal, you see the ground balls. The faceoffs have certainly been critical. 11-2. I mean, that tells you a whole lot about the possession. Comsewogue has been in possession, and that's forcing Rocky Point to have to really play a little bit more catch-up because of that deficiency in the faceoffs. And so, therefore, they're trailing on ground balls. Certainly, the shots have been in favor of Comsewogue, and obviously, as you look at the scoreboard, that's also in the favor of the Warriors.
Didn't hear a lot from Matt McGuire in the first 15 minutes, but he did get on the board. We'll take a look at highlights from that first half. McGuire with his 73rd goal, 17th of the pause.
I think Bill Lewis did a really fine job playing defense on him, but it's hard to contain a fine player like McGuire, and you saw him go to the cage, look at his opportunities here. He takes advantage of the player. He beat Lewis one of the few times in that first half with the left hand and takes a nice shot. Lewis trying to come back with that little wrap check at the end, but wasn't able to catch it.
Great awareness on his way down to find the cage. That made it 7-3, but Jeff Rink responds with 7:40 of the second. This makes it 7-4.
Well, it was a nice feed. That came from Nichols into Rink right on the crease, and Jeff Rink is a fine player. He was in good position. Nice feed by Nichols to help close the gap a little bit.
Comsewogue leads by 3. 20 minutes to go. Suffolk County Small School Championship on the line. We're back with second half action after this timeout on Cablevision Sports.
Hey, nice suit.
Thanks. You know, your presentation in European history was great.
I hope I can have the same confidence in my next job interview.
You can. Talk about your internship in New York, make your points about the global economy.
Are companies interested in that?
Yeah, they're interested in intelligence and being well-rounded.
Thanks for the game plan, Professor. Have fun at the gym.
Discover the difference that one-on-one education can make in your life. At Delphi University, stay close, go far.
I'm Noah Wagner. I've had the AIDS virus for 15 years. But I'm not here to talk about AIDS. As horrible as the disease is, now there's hope. Today, the people who need hope are the people with pancreatic cancer. It kills nearly 70 people a day, yet we know almost nothing about it. But we can change that with research. After all, just look how far we've come with AIDS. Just look at me.
Back at Hofstra Stadium, Hal Sass joined by Pete Mitchell, the head coach of Comsewogue, whose club leads 7-4 after one. Talked about having to spread the offense. 5 different goal scorers in the first half. The offense did a nice job.
Yes, absolutely. Teddy Flood stepped up. Some of the other midfielders, I think that's going to be key in the second half to trying to lock McGuire. But I think the longer he keeps running, when he gets the penalties off of that, I think we'll be okay.
Did a nice job with faceoffs, got ball control. Is that something you have to do, continue in the second half?
Absolutely. Josh Marksberry is just unbelievable. He's done it all year for us. I think we just got to tighten up the defense as far as cutters go and make sure we pick up the backside man. I think we'll be okay.
Go get him in the second half.
Thank you very much.
Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Hal, thanks very much on this beautiful afternoon. We get set for second half action, checking the scoring. At the end of the first quarter, we had a 5-3 lead in favor of Comsewogue. And Rocky Point started the scoring off with Cologne getting Donald and Flood scoring to make it 2-1 Comsewogue. Lawrence tied it for Rocky Point at 2-all. Flood put Comsewogue in front 3-2. McDonald made it 4-2 with his second goal. And then Cologne made it 4-3 with his second for Rocky Point. And Pearson, late in the first quarter, made it 5-3. It was 6-3. Diedrichsen scoring from Droge at 5:11 of the second quarter. Then McGuire 8 seconds later. And then 7-4, Rink from Nickel at 7:40 for Rocky Point to get him back within 3. As the fans getting a lovely suntan here. We're going to be joined by Larry Glens, the Lindbrook coach, here for the third quarter action. Larry, of course, will play this fine team you're watching out here today, the Rocky Point Eagles. They'll be the C representative from Suffolk's outstanding club. Larry's team coming away with a well-deserved victory the other day against a very good Bethpage team. And as we begin the second half, Larry, you've been watching the first half. What are your impressions so far of today's game?
Well, I would say Rocky Point's got a real good transition game, a lot of speed on their team, and they've got some really aggressive defensemen, and they seem to communicate well with each other. They look like a fine club. It looks like a great game.
And, of course, you played this Comsewogue team last year for the Long Island B Championship. They look pretty good, don't they?
Yeah, they're playing tough.
Comsewogue will handle the ball. Flood with a couple of surprising goals. 29 will take it behind. We'll reset the lineup. He inverts against Frank Lawrence here, Kerry, with a short stick.
Well, he's been very effective going behind and inverting, going one-on-one with the shorty.
Mentioned his good speed. Creates a lot of offense for his teammates. Here's Diedrichsen at 5'10", going to Gettysburg. Checked away, and they'll look for transition here. Eddie Palmer picking the ball up. He's quick. Palmer on the clear. Palmer, and the pass broken up, and Spalina will try to get to the ball. Spalina battling for possession that time with Pokovich, 24. Comsewogue comes up with the ground ball. Again, that was one of the keys, Kerry.
And he's very correct on that. They were out-ground balled in the first half, as we noted with the halftime stats, 23-15. And Rocky Point's got to do a better job if they're going to try and control the ball and get some shots.
Here's Frankie Lawrence, 51 goals coming in, 90 points. He's had 8 goals in the playoffs. Going to New York Tech to play for Jack Haley. And Jack Haley, of course, going to be the beneficiary of 3 players in this game. Fine program on the Division II level here. Here is Nickel going to Nassau Community, and he scores. That's the kind of quick shot Jeremy Nickel has shown all year, but has been rather quiet in this game so far, Kerry.
Right, exactly, Barry. And that's what I said in the first half. I thought that Nickel has to get more involved in the offense because he's got a really hard shot, nice right hand, as you see it on the replay. He's got a quick release. They found him as the play was developed from behind the cage with Frankie Lawrence. And when they went to look to double up with Lawrence, that opened up Nickel for the shot.
Larry, quick shot, hard shot. He's the guy you're going to have to contend with.
Yeah, he's one of their big ones.
He's a senior going to Nassau Community. Marksberry knocked the ball away, and Flood will try to pick it up on the bounce. Here's Teddy Flood. Good feet to Diedrichsen. Nice fake, and he drew the goalie Ilardi out and put it home with the goal. And that is his second of the afternoon and 43rd of the season for the all-county captain.
Well, with Diedrichsen on Ilardi, but I got to give a lot of credit to Ted Flood. He's the guy who started the transition, coming up with the face-off, the ground ball, critical. There was that ground ball that's come back to haunt Rocky Point right now. But you'll notice, again, good position. Diedrichsen gets himself in a very good position to receive those feeds.
Once again, Mark's put up here in front, and again, close-in shot by Matty McDonald. And I guess you're glad you're not facing this Comsewogue team again. They were awfully good last year. So was your club, Larry. What a sensational season you had last year.
Yeah, thank you. They were. We played them on a day where it had to be 110 degrees last year, and I think we were playing more guys than they were. I think that gave us the advantage last year. We don't play as many this year, and I think Comsewogue's playing a lot more guys than Rocky Point is.
Larry, tell us about your club, because obviously you had the injury to Doniger. Your club had to learn to play without him. They certainly did, and it seems to have made you a better club. And obviously you've caught fire late in the season.
You know, it's funny. You'd never want to go your whole league season without your best player, but in this case, we had him. We had him for the games that were non-league, and then we picked him up for the playoffs. So we learned a lot about how to play without him.
All right, they learned to play with this guy, Jeremy Nickel, coming alive here in the second half. His second straight goal, and it's 8-6.
Well, Nickel is stepping it up now. I'm sure during halftime, I would imagine Mike Bowler said to Jeremy, let's get you involved. You got to go to the cage. He has an opening here. No one's coming over to pick up Nickel. He takes that shot down low on the stick side, but the bounce goes over the shoulder of Antonio Masson. So that's 2 straight goals right now for Jeremy.
Rink and Marksberry again facing off. Jeff Rink has had his hands full facing off. And again, Marksberry beats him cleanly, and we'll start a little transition. Off to Flood on the wing. Flood checked as he tried to get the shot off. Good play there. And here's Palmer, stolen by Diedrichsen. 56 trying to come up with the loose ball that time was Sia. And it's going to roll out of bounds. So it looks like Rocky Point, Larry Glenn, starting to get a little more involved emotionally, looking for those ground balls.
The word out on them is that they can score in transition. They're very explosive.
And they have averaged 15 goals a game, playing, of course, many of the schools they played last year, the B school, they've struggled defensively. That time the check from behind, and the ball taken back here. This is Billy Lewis, their 3-time all-county defender. Finds Spallina, natural lefty, and it'll be hunted down to the far side by Cologne. They're down by 2 here, Kerry. And a real good opportunity here.
Important possession right now for Rocky Point.
This is Sean Ely going to Nassau Community. 5'7" senior, sweeps to his left, and didn't get much on that shot, easily handled by Masson.
On that one, he drove around the cage, he took a lefty shot and put it up high right onto the stick. Not a very challenging shot for Antonio Masson.
McConnell trying to find Diedrichsen, but the pass behind him, and Comsewogue will turn it over.
Well, Diedrichsen going to the cage, and as you pointed out, the pass was trailing and inadvertently going out of bounds.
Larry, what about the health of your club? How about Jason? Obviously, he came up huge the other day against a great Bethpage team. How's he feeling now?
Real well. I mean, we feel that all our kids are getting stronger. Ryan Over's ankle is healing, and he played pretty well with it the other night. And Jason got his cast cut down a little bit, so we're feeling good.
Again, they have trouble with the clear. We told you how aggressive they are, both Diedrichsen and McGuire, or rather McConnell and McGuire. And here's a turnover here, Kerry.
Yes, you're right. The one official calling an in and out of the box, but the stoppage by Kenny Rizzo here on the near side.
Larry, how much of an advantage do you think it is for you as a Nassau team, having played on the turf 3 or 4 times? Obviously, the Suffolk team is getting a chance to play here today, and of course, we'll play on Tuesday. But how much of an advantage do you feel from a coaching standpoint is it?
I don't see any advantage. It's exciting to play there, and it's easier to scoop and bounce shots. Perhaps a goalie who's faced bounce shots on this, but they're pretty true. It's harder to play in a grass field with clumps.
Officials talking it over there. You've been getting some great play from the midfielders, some guys who have stepped up big. Again, Naso again is another kid who has come up big
We're
in
really
the playoffs.
excited about them. I mean, they were a little shaky in the beginning of the year. We lost all our midfielders, or a lot of them from last year. But Greg Naso's come up real big and Healy and Sinkew's come up real big, yeah.
And not too shabby as the big guy in goal. I wish Sal Locascio was here. We could. I tell you, Mr. Aida has been something else.
Yeah. That must be the trend now in being a goalie, I think, is to be a big goalie.
Aida's got my soul by 90.
You told me he lost 5 pounds, went on a diet. Let's see if they have trouble against the clear. That's Diedrichsen now on the ride. They do finally find the open man. This is Nichols giving him some life here with 2 goals. Jeremy Nickel trying to feed cross cage, and they get a crease violation there. Good choice by Nickel, but the player he was trying to get it to just a step into the crease area. And there's Masson as his team will look to clear here. Bavona swings it up the sideline. Illegal substitution, the call, and they'll turn it over. So Rocky Point down 2 here. They were trailing 7-4 at the half.
An unforced error there that I'm sure Pete Mitchell is not happy about, turning the ball over like that.
Of course, this is an unusual game. Again, both teams will advance, so it's not the loser going out here, and it's unusual here in lacrosse. Nickel with some good penetration here. Trying to feed Spallina, but again, the pass behind. And as it crosses midfield, somebody probably stepped over. Offside will be the call. And Rocky Point gets it back. So
Rocky Point's had a lot of possession right now, Barry, in this third period. We're about halfway through, and I think Comsewogue's only had the ball in their offense only once so far in the 5 minutes. Everything else has been Rocky.
Nickel with a bounce shot. Goes wide. But they did have backup. And the ball will be played here by Rocky Point. Sean Ely, 5'7" senior. Very steady player, carries the ball well. Not a flashy player, not like Cologne or Lawrence. This is Jeff Rink, 10 goals on the year. That's Ely, shot blocked nicely that time by number 22, and that was Danny Henderson, the long pole defensive midi, with the block.
Now you'll notice Rocky Point offensively in their offensive set right now has opened it up a little bit. When Comsewogue was showing a zone, they were opening up their play, going a little bit more into a circle, and they get into a 1-4.
Rocky Point with an off-stick side, and how about this, Jeremy Nickel? You got that number imprinted in your head, Larry Glenn?
I remember number 5.
He's come alive here with 3 third-quarter goals. It's now an 8-7 game, and Pete Mitchell not pleased.
Well, this is exactly what Mike Bowler was hoping would happen. He's got to get some productivity out of the midfielders, and Jeremy Nickel is the man at the midfield that's got to do it. And here you see him. He just beats two poles, 2 sticks. Here's a late slide, and again, the shot, which is really on the stick side, just off the hip, which is a tough place for the goalie to have to make the save. But look at the movement in front of the crease area, a little deflection, distraction, I should say. Good shot by Nickel. 3 straight goals. He's bringing them back in this game single-handedly.
Live action again. Marksbury coming up with the ball, but the pass behind McGuire goes out of bounds. And again, McGuire not involved, obviously, in the offense. They have shut him down. Bill Lewis really locking on him.
Absolutely, but again, the turnovers by Comsewogue in the second half uncharacteristic for the Warriors, but they have been making some unforced errors during this third quarter, and that's why you're seeing their lead whittle away.
And again, they're trying to clear, which was a problem in the first half. Diedrichsen with the aggressive ride. Lewis too far over his head, so the Diedrichsen forced that turnover there on the bad pass.
And Ilardi saying, I was wide open. Why don't you look to me rather than go all the way back across the field? And it's a good point.
And, Larry, the sun can be a factor here late in the afternoon, as you know, because you played here, where the glare of the sun coming from the stands on this side onto the players' field.
This time of day and from here for another hour or so, it's going to be real tough.
You don't want to make those high-arcing passes.
Yeah.
And right now, looking on the crease, that was McGuire trying to feed to Droge down low, broken up, and here comes the speedy Frank Lawrence. Smart, quick, he sees the field, has had 31 assists to go along with the 59 goals coming into play today. Frank's an all-county soccer player as well. Can go right and left. That's Lawrence with it. Cologne in behind now. They swing it to Ely. Trying to force it onto the crease. Not a good pass at all there that time. And that was Spallina who made that bad pass, Danny Spallina.
I agree with that. That pass
up,
was really unforced.
Ely checked. And it's recovered by Droge. Joe Droge, who's got great stick skills.
Comsewogue has to try and do something here to shut down some momentum. That was a great
Droge
save.
got stoned that time. Heck of a save there, Larry Glenn.
Yeah, nice save. Big at the right time, too. Momentum's with Rocky Point now, then that keeps it going.
Absolutely. That was a great save. He stepped it up big there. Ilardi did, as Droge was coming in on the goal and had a great opportunity. Nice move. He cuts makes that cut to the cage, and Droge just throws it right at the body of Phil Ilardi.
Oh, McGuire with that spin move still controls it. McGuire, a lot of people felt should have been an All-American, the kid going to Loyola. Not been able to see much except that one shot he had earlier. Here's McDonald going to Dowling. To Diedrichsen. Got away from his defender. Stoned again.
One-on-one with Ilardi, and Ilardi has stoned him every one of those times.
Well, when your club goes against him, you're going to have Mutt and Jeff if those two goalies stood next to one another. 5'7", 145. Yeah. Here we go. Take another look at Diedrichsen.
And look at this opportunity for Comsewogue. Second time in a row, Ilardi just does an excellent job, holds his ground, and I'll tell you what, he's playing bigger than a junior first-year varsity.
Absolutely. And back to the live action, you see the blue shirts hustling to the sideline, and they are going to get possession as we check in with Hal Sass.
All right, Barry. Phil Alardi's doing a great job in goal for Rocky Point this quarter. Now, this is the second time these teams have met this year. Earlier this year, Comsewogue won the first game 14-7. And when I spoke to the coaching staff about the first game, I said, what was the problem in the first game? They said, well, Phil Alardi had a stick problem. I said, what? He was having a hard time, passing the ball or what? He said, well, kind of. The goal stick that he had a problem with the pocket. And every time he tried outlet passes, the passes would go too low into Comsewogue's stick, leading to fast break transition and some goals. So they've worked on it since that day. He's got a new stick. He's adjusted to it, and the coaching staff has said he has improved so much. He is only a junior. He came up from JV. He's improved throughout the year, but got to check that equipment beforehand. Don't you think so, Kerry?
Absolutely. You always tell your players, make sure you check your sticks and check your equipment before you step on the field. But right there, you noticed Alardi was very much involved in the clear on that last transition for Rocky.
Rocky Point turning it over moments ago, and this is the speedy Marksberry. Josh Marksberry going to Ithaca College. Here's McDonald working on Palmer. Gets doubled. Trying to feed it to...
Went through cross cage. There's a lot of sticks that ball had to get through, and I think the Comsewogue was lucky that they were able to keep possession.
No question. Sean Scally out there defensively right now for Rocky Point, number 44. And McGuire's high shot easily handled by Alardi. Has trouble trying to clear it on the far side. Asia. And he saved it. And here they come, looking to tie it up here. Good rush that time by Palmer as he got down very quickly on the clear.
Great legs. He legs the ball down real well, gets him into transition.
He's a soccer player.
Speed. Rocky Point's got a lot of speed.
So does your club. Should be a great matchup from that standpoint. Here's Jeremy Nickel looking to isolate against Flood, one-on-one with a short stick here. He's been a hot hand, has had all 3 goals in this quarter.
Smart move now. You notice Comsewogue drops the short stick for the pole.
Yeah, Palkovich picked him up, but Nickel comes around. They have backup. Spalina back there. So obviously the strategy was, let's get Jeremy Nickel involved. Let's isolate him. He could probably beat their midfielders if we get the opportunity here.
Well, he's got he's got a great shot, hard shot up top, and he let it fly. Dodger up at the
But he's
midfield.
also a good playmaker. He's had 33 assists. He's not a guy that's just going to finish. He's going to see the field and find open teammates if he gets doubled. And once again, they'll work it outside. This is Jeff Ring. Checked away, and it'll be a push. No, they're going to go the other way. Asia.
They call Dietrichson on the ward, I believe.
A chance here for Spalina, who's been shut off. 6 seconds ago, Spalina's got a good hard left shot, could not handle the ball. And with Marksberry, will get it up to younger Marksberry, and the quick shot by McConnell. And we should have a heck of a 4th quarter. 8-7 is our story. Larry Glens, can you stay with us for a little more, or you've got to go? So thanks, Larry, for joining us. We'll see him on Tuesday night when his Lindbrook team takes on this fine Rocky Point team. We'll be back with more. You're watching Cablevision Sports.
Hello? Oh, hi, Mom. Yeah, my teachers and career counselors are great. They even sent me email. Mom, the whole campus is wired. Yeah, we've got championship NCAA teams. No, I'm not lonely. There's a lot to do here. Rick and I were just going out to shoot some hoops before dinner. Yeah, the food's good. You're making lasagna? You got enough for both of us? We'll be right over.
At Delphi, stay close, go far. Problem. You're an athlete. You've suffered an injury. You want to get better, quickly.
Elite Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation begins in our technologically advanced therapy center and advances to our fitness facility with its own indoor sports complex, batting tunnel, wrestling mats, basketball hoops, and volleyball courts. Get back to your sport safely and quickly under the supervision of Elite's doctors, physical therapists, and athletic trainers. Elite Sports Medicine for the 21st century.
Back at Hofstra Stadium, 10 minutes to go in this Suffolk County Small Schools Championship between Comsewogue and Rocky Point, and the initials SH on the players of Comsewogue. Back in April, the athletic director, Scott Hessian, the athletic director at Comsewogue, passed away of cancer at the age of 32. He was a basketball player, a graduate of Comsewogue High School, varsity basketball coach. He taught health. These kids had a great relationship with Scott, and it's carried on at his wake. About a 2-hour wait for people in the community to go in and say their goodbyes to a man who really meant a lot to this athletic department and the entire community. Scott Hessian may be gone for now, but certainly not forgotten by the Comsewogue community.
And not forgotten by all of Suffolk County sports, Kerry. He was a delightful young man and lent so much to the athletic community.
Absolutely, and did an outstanding job with the basketball program at Comsewogue.
Right now, Comsewogue with it as we see the scoring held to 1 goal in that third quarter. This high-powered offense led it 7-4 at halftime, and they're very much in this game 8-7. And here's Marksberry going down, getting the shot. Second time that's happened as Comsewogue denied the goal.
Well, right now I think Comsewogue has really changed their offensive flow. They are not moving the ball as they had done earlier on, and they're getting a lot of unforced errors now in the second half.
And there's a big unforced error on the part of Ed Palmer. He had Alardi wide open. Now, I know Alardi's small at 5'7", but you should be able to get the ball to him.
Absolutely.
That could be critical if they score off this turnover here. That could be a real deflator, Kerry.
Absolutely, because right now momentum has all been in the hands of Rocky Point. They played an excellent third quarter. They did a great job defensively and offensively at the other end of the field. They involved the midfielders a lot more than they had earlier on, especially Jeremy Nickel.
So here is Ted Flood with it right now. He got him started early with 2 goals in the first quarter. Comsewogue scored 5 in the first quarter, Kerry, and they've been held to just 3 goals since that point. Good job by Rocky Point.
Their defense has done an excellent job, and again, I got to give a lot of credit to Bill Lewis. He's really holding McGuire, who's been really hot. He's got 90 points on the season.
And 5 big saves in that third quarter for Alardi. McConnell trying to find a cutter, and it was broken up. He was trying to get it to Ryan Jackson, number 12, breaking toward the goal. Flood picks up the ground ball, but it's checked away. Lewis trying to come up with it. Lewis checked out of his stick and thrown it behind his back, Joe Sia. And they do pick it up. They did see that ball. Here's Lawrence to try to tie it. Masson, the save. And hustling to get it will be Frank Lawrence.
That shot high on the stick side, right into the stick of Antonio Masson. Poor shot selection.
Here is Lawrence again. Draws the double. Turns. Not a good choice. He got doubled. Got
4 white shirts around him. He's got to give the ball up. They're open players. Another high shot right in the stick of Masson.
Jeff Rink with the shot. And the official makes a call. He's talking to Frank Lawrence right now. And it's an equipment problem. Here's a look at a couple of shots by Comsewogue. Or rather, Rocky Point. This is Frank Lawrence.
Yep. Now look at that shot right into the stick of Masson. You can't take that shot against Antonio Masson. He's too good and too quick to get beat up high from that far out.
Matt McDonald getting in on Palmer. Look at those moves, and he scores. But no goal, and he slams his stick in frustration. Another crease violation.
Well, I think that's the second goal they've waved off because of crease violations, Barry. They're getting their shots off just a little bit too late. They got to get those shots off a little sooner. Great stick control. Look at that. Great job going against Palmer. He does a spin move and puts it in his left hand. Great effort. You can't deny the effort on the part of McGuire. But the second time they've lost a goal.
Kerry, for the uninitiated, those who don't follow the game that closely, explain the concept of the crease violation, of when it becomes a violation. Is it when you shoot the ball, after you shoot it, if you go in the goal? What determines a crease violation?
Well, essentially, anytime you're really stepping in that crease area, it's going to be a goal. Whether or not
no goal.
Or no goal. Whether or not you get the shot off before you are before you cross the plane of the crease, that's going to be a judgment call on the part of the official. If you are pushed into the crease, that's another call by the official. And then, of course, a dive. If you dive in and land in the crease, even if it goes in the goal, no matter what, you're going to lose the goal.
So
and that's what's happened to McGuire.
Comsewogue a man down right now. They called a penalty there. And Rocky Point with a golden opportunity on the extra man. So far today, we have not had many penalties. They're 0 for 2 so far. Critical possession here with 7:20 to go. On the crease, Nickel couldn't handle the pass. He was in. Bender draws the double, swings it. Here's Lawrence trying to turn, spun right into the check. And as he went down, we get a whistle.
Well, we'll get a loose ball push. Lawrence got triple teamed right in on the crease area. Draws the push. So Rocky will maintain the possession.
Rocky Point trailed 7-4 at the half. They now trail 8-7. It was Jeremy Nickel with all 3 goals in that third quarter to bring them back within 1.
And we're all even now, Barry.
So they're unable to cash in on the 32nd extra man. Here's Nickel. Marksberry watching him closely. Marksberry has that great speed, although he's given up some size. Lawrence. Lawrence working on Maloney, number 28, who's come into the game. Number 28, the defender. Up top they go. Bounce shot wide by Matt Cologne.
Maloney comes in generally on their man-down defense. And now you'll see Maloney going out as they come back to all even strength.
He's generally in on the man-down defense. And he heads off. Did a nice job while he was out there. And replacing him is Mike Sherratt, number 21. So here is Spallina. He's been pretty much kept in check, but he's a good one. Went right into that check carry. And Marksberry flips it upfield. Loose ball. Dangerous here for McGuire. Makes a good feed to Diedrichson. And not a good pass there. And Palmer with it. Rocky Point looking to tie it here.
You notice when Marty Diedrichson made that last pass, he was falling away, falling back, which made it a tougher pass.
Spallina got it off, got it back, tried to get the shot off right-handed. He's a lefty, got checked, and a whistle back downfield. And are we going to get a timeout here? Yes, indeed. So Pete Mitchell's club, which looked like they were ready to roll, leading 7-4 carry, really stymied here in this second half.
Absolutely, and that's, I think, is partially responsible to the defense of Rocky Point doing a very good job, and some unforced errors. Again, I reiterate the fact that I think that they are being pressured into making some mistakes that they uncharacteristically do not make.
Well, Comsewogue 99, Suffolk B champs, they're 4th in a row, and now they're 5th in a row, really, if you consider they are the B representative. Carry some of the players they lost from last year. Kevin Cassis at Duke, Dan Naglieri at Nazareth, Mike Favaloro at Roger Williams, Tom Gross at Caprini. Then they lost in several recent years Nick Russo. They had Charlie Pearson, Tim Pearson, Nick, of course, with Virginia, Charlie and Tim up at Army, Jamie Sharp at Georgetown, John Tobias at Stony Brook. He's had a great career there. So many players from a relatively small school playing big-time lacrosse. What a credit to Bob Woods and to Pete Mitchell in that program.
Well, they've really done an excellent job. They've really created a tradition, a winning tradition, obviously, as they're successful at tests. And so that brings out some outstanding athletes.
Talk about outstanding athletes. How about Rocky Point back in the mid-'80s when they had the great Ray brothers there that dominated 85 and 86. They won county B championships with Jeff and Scott. And then 90 and 91 with Gary Ray leading the way. They had great teams.
And here's a look at that hit again on the Rocky Point player as he comes into your picture. And right there showing you the aggressive play. Again, looks like number 30. Yep, and that's Adam Marksberry, the younger brother of Josh. But his young brother is, was big on the hit.
Little guy big on the hit. Let's go to Hal Sass.
All right, Barry, taking a look at Pete Mitchell on the Comsewogue sideline. When the team came over, he said, guys, you just got to settle down, continue to play smart, continue to hit. He also told his players, hey, we've had 3 goals taken away from us. Forget about it. We got to keep playing. That's what he said to his team on the sideline.
All right, thanks very much, Hal. Joe Droge with it against Milano. Number 11 has the short stick. He'll take him behind now. Let's see if they switch. Marksberry getting a pick. He's very dangerous at giving him room carry, and right now they're giving him a lot of room. Marksberry.
Well, again, he has a short stick. Milano, the short stick on Marksberry.
Palmer will pick it up, and Rocky Point again with a chance to tie it. Palmer checked out of his stick and out of bounds. Good job by Comsewogue, and it was Marksberry catching up there.
A diving check by Marksberry to dislodge the ball and bring it back over to possession for Comsewogue.
Oh, he is fun to watch. Marksberry heading to Ithaca College. And right now, Marksberry makes a great recovery. Got hammered as he tried to reach out, and Milano, who hit him, picks the ball up. Milano has good speed, will bring it down. Milano, just a sophomore, off to Frankie Lawrence. Rocky Point with under 5 minutes to go, looking to tie it here. Lawrence checked away. Good defensive job that time by Sherratt, number 21.
Frankie Lawrence hung the stick too much there for Sherratt, and that big pole puts it away.
Droge, great feed. McDonald will score, and it was Flood who made the cross-cage feed, or was it Marksberry? No, it was Marksberry. So Marksberry doing it at both ends, and he set up the gimme goal. What a huge goal that is for Comsewogue on the transition.
And I'll tell you what, that whole goal starts with Sherrod at the other end of the field when he does the check on Frankie Lawrence, and you'll find again, where's McDonald? Right on the crease. That was Droge who does the job for Comsewogue, but Matt McDonald right on the crease. He's got a number of his goals standing on the crease area. That's a big goal. 2 goals now lead for the Warriors.
Good job by Joe Droge, who set it up, fed it to the side of the cage, and then McDonald getting the pass there to score to make it a 9-7 game. But here comes Nickel right back. He got it checked away.
Again, hanging the stick just a little bit.
Who's got it? Marksberry. But his pass goes downfield, and penalty against Blue, an infraction.
Right, they call the push against Rocky Point. So fortunate for Comsewogue, they're going to keep possession now. You see Pete Mitchell pointing up to his little noggin up there. Let's use our heads, boys.
So Comsewogue will get possession here.
Play smart. Can't afford now.
Somebody would have told
errors.
you that they would have held Matt McGuire to 1 goal in this game, and they would still put 9 up. It shows you how strong this Comsewogue offense is. They've been able to lock him off, and here's Flood taking the short stick on Milano. Teddy Flood, who's had a couple of big goals today. Flood working it up top. They can take their time on the possession here. McGuire, what a job Bill Lewis has done, number 3 on him, shadowing him all day, no matter where he has gone.
Absolutely. I give a lot of credit to Bill Lewis, and that's why he's a 3-time All-County.
And that is a huge goal coming around, this time Pearson. Chris Pearson, number 35. Again, no relation to the other Pearson brothers, but if he can make plays like that, they'll take it.
Well, he plays as the other Pearsons have. That was an excellent move. Quick, hard move to the cage. He took his man one-on-one, and that's a big goal. He's up against number 8. You see him in the picture there for you for Rocky Point. Number 8 is Joe Giolino, and look how he just takes him one-on-one, goes to the cage, takes a hit with a right-handed shot. Now this is where the game has been most critical in behalf of Comsewogue winning those face-offs.
This time it comes back to Lewis, trying to rake away with a big stick, unable to get the control he needs. Palmer whacking away number 10. And Marksberry, deflection. It'll be blue ball.
Good call by the official, Bob Hutchinson, right here off the foot of Marksberry.
So 2 goals 45 seconds apart by McDonald and Pearson have given Comsewogue a 3-goal cushion.
A little breathing room right now for the Warriors, as I think Mike Bowler's team, as you see Mike standing there on the sideline, did a superb job bringing it within 1.
Of course, you lacrosse fans, there'll be some great lacrosse Tuesday night, and Tuesday afternoon, 3:30, you'll see this fine Rocky Point team taking on Lynbrook, the defending State B champion. That'll be for the C Long Island title. And Spallina, again, rifling that low shot wide.
Underhanded shot from Spallina up top.
His brother, a first-team All-American at Hofstra, and one of the coaches.
Yep, well, Joe, his older brother Joe, right, who you may very well remember played at Adelphi University for Doc Doherty.
Right.
He was a great lacrosse player, of course,
Great
and
family.
he also played at Rocky Point, as did the rest of the family.
And while the officials conferring, we got an offside. A late flag was thrown there. Now they finally call it, so a key loss of possession by Rocky Point. It'll go to Comsewogue. Let's take a look at that last goal by Pearson here.
And here's a nice move. Now look how he's already got the defender beat. Okay, as you see, that was Rink, number 9. And it jumps up, tries to get that shot in, and does a great job. Good effort by Pearson.
Once again, they'll play it to Flood. Flood's played a very strong game. Midfield's done a good job. Flood, Marksberry, with McGuire being short-changed, and ironically, Marksberry, who's done it all, winning the face-offs, comes up with the goal. How fitting that could be the coup de grace, as he's given his club another one to give him a 4-goal lead. Josh had 20 goals coming in, 203 ground balls. We've seen that unbelievable speed. He's a catalyst, and we've seen why here.
Well, he steps it up a little bit, and he certainly helps that offense. And he just rockets that shot past Delardy and up top with that hard right hand. He's an all-county player. We see why now, not only because of his face-offs, because of his opportunities that he creates for Comsewogue. He's really the catalyst, as you said.
2:53 to go, so the time of the goal will be 7:07, a timeout taken. And while we're on the subject of some great lacrosse, we mentioned the 3:30 game on Tuesday. Then at 5:30 should be a real good showdown. Comsewogue team, or rather the Comsewogue team will be taking on Garden City. And those are the two premier teams, I think you'd have to say right now, in the state among the Bees. Garden City, the only undefeated team in Nassau County, and Comsewogue, as you see, red hot right now after big victories over Hauppauge and Huntington. Their only losses this year, early in the year to Kings Park by a goal. They lost to Sachem by 3 goals, 15-12, and to Smithtown in triple overtime. So this Comsewogue team's been there before, Kerry, so they know what's like to play under pressure, and they certainly have responded certainly in the county championship playoffs.
Absolutely, they have. And I do believe, last year you mentioned how they had so many outstanding players last year, including Kevin Cassis, who was certainly probably the premier player in Suffolk County last year. The fact is they may very well be a more well-balanced team this year because they don't have that kind of outstanding player.
All right, Kerry, we're talking lacrosse, but we've got baseball coming up at the beautiful EAB Park, and this Thursday you can catch all the action of Long Island Ducks baseball as they'll be home. Hopefully there'll be some beautiful weather, and Quackerjack will be there as well. The Ducks taking on Atlantic City for lots of fun out in Central Islip at the beautiful new ballpark. Ducks baseball Thursday night on Channel 18 Island-wide, June 8th. Atlantic City Surf and the Long Island Ducks. Now back to lacrosse action here as we get a whistle off the face-off here, and it's going to be blue ball. Infraction, one of the few things Marksbury has not done effectively today. And
Kenny Rizzo points to Marksbury and says, "You pushed there, son." And that's how you got up the ball.
Well, you'd have several candidates for player of the game. It could be Marksbury, who's done such a dominant job on the face. And now flags fly, and it looks like Spallina having a couple of words with the official there.
It's an unsportsmanlike call against Rocky Point, and yes, it looks like Spallina is going off.
McDonald's had 3 goals today to lead the very fine Comsewogue offense.
You certainly can't afford to make that mistake now as we come down to 2.5 minutes remaining as the clock is winding down on Rocky Point, and put themselves man down for a minute.
So we'll see what happens here. Marksbury has dominated face-offs today, and he's been a key factor in today's game as Diedrichsen will take the ball behind.
And they're going to be very content just to kill the penalty with their extra man.
Really don't have to do anything, go to the goal. I'm sure Doc Doherty and his fine coaching staff watching this Comsewogue team. And this is a team that, of course, lost to Larry Glenn's great speed champion of Nassau County last year. Went on to win the state, finished an undefeated run after losing their first game of the year.
Now Rocky Point's coming out to try and play them.
Yep. Somebody will be open.
And they're still locking off on McGuire.
Yep.
Rocky Point's putting Sean Scully right in McGuire's face mask.
They should be all even momentarily. Still not all even, so time down. It was a 1-minute penalty. Now they're all even. And another goal. And who is it? The little guy, Mr. Marksbury, making his mark felt here as he adds goals 11 and 12. And one of the examples that a little guy in this game can play awfully big.
That's right. And Josh is 5'9", 175. He's a tough kid. Know him well from soccer as well. He can dominate a game there, as he has shown here today with his face-off ability. Nice bounce shot as he drives hard to the cage, takes that right-handed bounce shot. And I think that's really been a very effective shot against Ilardi. And many of the opportunities that they've had shooting against Ilardi, they've shot up top, and they haven't really found the back of the net. The bounce shots have been the ones that I think have been most successful for the Warriors.
4 unanswered goals by Comsewogue have broken the game open. It was an 8-7 game when Jeremy Nichols scored in the third quarter, but McDonald, Pearson, Marksbury, and Marksbury again have come back to score for Comsewogue, and they lead it 12-7, and we're down to the final minute and 9 seconds. I want to thank Kathy Gallagher of Section 11, who's done such a terrific job, Carrie, for her hospitality, and really all of these sports really have a lot to be thankful for. She really runs such a great operation.
She really does. She has just a great job as a section president and executive director of Section 11.
All the sports are under her domain, and right now we'll have the ball put in play by Frank Lawrence. So Rocky Point will have another game on this field to play, so in a sense there really is no loser, as Frankie Lawrence shows he's not finished, and Lawrence comes up with the goal. He had something earlier. That'll be his second goal scored in the first quarter, and that makes it a 12-8 game. So Frankie Lawrence with 61 goals for the senior going to play at New York Tech.
Well, he does a great job protecting his stick. He's one-on-one here in the back, and he's going against John Parkovitz. There's the stick protection, makes a little dodge, shows that stick with the dodge and protects it well, and gets a nice opportunity in on the goalie, Antonio Masson. Good effort by Frank Lawrence.
Yeah, once again, Mark Sperry's out there for a face-off, wins it again. Boy, is he quick, Carey, right off that face-off. Beats you with the quickness. Jeff Briggs had his hands full today against him. Diedrichsen working against Sia.
Rocky Point goal scored by number 2, Frank Lawrence. The goal was unassisted.
Diedrichsen still with it, down to the final 17 seconds. And the Warriors, who lost last time out on this field a year ago, going to come away victorious and get ready for their showdown with Garden City. Ball thrown up in the air, and the seconds tick away as the Warriors continue to dominate the smaller schools in Suffolk County as they win the small school championship. But there was no quit in Rocky Point, and they lose at 12-8. But they should represent Suffolk County very well against a very tough Lynbrook team when they play on Tuesday afternoon.
Well, I think they'll both these two teams will represent Section 11 very well. Both these two teams, I'm sure, are very happy, the coaches, that no one was injured and everyone came off this field healthy in preparation for Tuesday's games against Nassau County.
Well, you look at the Warriors, they now go 16-3 on the year. Rocky Point drops to 14-5. Their losses this year to Huntington, twice to Comsewogue, once to Shore and Wading River, and once to Sachem. We'll be back to wrap it up from Hofstra. You've been watching exciting championship lacrosse on Cablevision Sports.
You decided on a college. I know we talked about it, but you made your decision so fast. You know, your mother was hoping you'd pick a school that's small and close to home, where you're not just another number, with teachers that really care about you. Have a good team? And of course, we want you to get a solid education. So, have you found a school like that?
Sure did.
Adelphi. Stay close, go far.
New technologies are creating new opportunities closer than you think. Cablevision is actively looking for experienced candidates for our sales, customer service, and field service departments. Enjoy real earnings and outstanding benefits while using cutting-edge technologies. Fax your resume to 516-393-4158 or email to salesjobs@cablevision.com. Call our toll-free hotline at 877-678-4886 for more information.
And we welcome you back to Hofstra Stadium in Hempstead, New York. Comsewogue with a 12-8 victory over Rocky Point. They capture the Suffolk County Small School Championship. Josh Marksberry joins me to start in today's game. And, boy, you started this game off doing the job on the faceoffs, getting ball control, led to a couple of goals early. Really was a big win for you guys.
Yes, we were very fortunate to come out today. The big win. We haven't had a chance to play here this year at Hofstra yet. So we wanted to come in and make an impact right away, right from the opening get-go.
Is it tough playing on the turf if you haven't played on it in a long time, especially since you're going to be going up against the Garden City team in the Long Island Championship?
Yeah, it's very tough to get used to right away. We play on grass all year long. The cuts, ground balls, it's very difficult to pick it up. But as the game goes on, you tend to pick it up.
Now, you were really known for picking up ground balls, for winning faceoffs, but you got on the board today, had 2 goals and an assist. What's the aspect of the game that you think you're best at?
I'm kind of low to the ground than most people, so I like ground balls, just the intensity. I tend to come out, hopefully, and get the team going, right away with the opening face-off. That's I feel that's my job to get everyone into it.
We're getting a look at one of your goals. One of the other things you guys did, you kind of bent, but you never broke. They got back within a goal, but you never let them get that tying goal. Then we're able to open up in that fourth quarter.
We know, like, if we let them into it, they're a great team. They're our rivals. We know, like, if we give them any sign of life, that they're going to come in and pound it to us. We just wanted to stay on top of them right from the get-go.
Long Island Championship on Tuesday, Garden City. You know all about them. Now they were out here scouting you. What do you look for Tuesday?
Hopefully come out, tend to pick it up a little more than we did today, towards the game we did against Huntington. Hopefully just come out right away, get going. We know they're a great team. They got a lot of big guns there. Just gonna do our best, and hopefully come out on top.
Congratulations on the win. Good luck Tuesday in Long Island Championship.
Thank you very much.
Josh Marksberry, the star in today's game, 2 goals and 1 assist. He leads Comsewogue to the Small School Championship of Suffolk County. Let's go upstairs to Barry and Carey to wrap this one up. Guys.
All right, Hal, thanks very much. And a well-played game, and give credit to both teams. They came to play today, Carey, in a game that, both teams are going to go on and play, and perhaps there might not be that great intensity, but they're a couple of rivals. They played each other a lot over the years, and we saw a pretty good lacrosse game today. And what do you look for from these two teams as they go on to represent Suffolk County next week?
Well, I think, again, you got to look to these two teams to take advantage of their attacks. Both of them have prolific attack players capable of scoring at will and almost at any time. I think there was a great job done defensively at both ends of the field in today's game, especially by Bill Lewis. I thought he was outstanding.
And Phil Ilardi, great job in goal, despite giving up several of those goals. Not his fault today. That'll do it. Once again, today's game from Hofstra University has been brought to you by Adelphi University. Stay close, go far. And by Elite Sports Medicine and Rehab in Ronkonkoma. See Dr. Frank Segreto. And by Cablevision. So for Carey Gluck, Hal Sass, producer-director Brian Andrus, and our statistician Josh Shruggengoss, this is Barry Landau saying so long, everybody. And thanks for watching Cablevision Sports.
Don't miss the exciting action as Cablevision Sports brings you high-quality local sports. Cablevision Sports is being brought to you in part by Adelphi University. Stay close, go far.
And indeed touch on her community. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very encouraging and gratifying that today's meeting is focused on building bridges, a global dialogue to discuss different approaches to dealing with women's empowerment. The women's empowerment issues on both sides of the Atlantic need to be discussed and probably learn new and better ways to deal with the old problems. New and better ways to deal with the old problems. Problems of empowerment. Bridges. Bridges facilitate communication, don't they? They facilitate movement and serve as a link to places or points divided by a gap. So indeed, bridges are important. For a bridge to be able to accept and withstand all kinds of traffic, human, vehicular, of all weights and sizes, it must be built on solid foundation. And that's why we are here. For us, as African women, seeking to build bridges with our African